Hi everyone. Today I am actually going to be working on the wood trick. It's actually been a while since I've done a wood model, and so I thought I'll be doing this mechanical space spider. And so it's going to have a lot of moving parts where the legs will move. So today I'm actually doing a different setup with the camera and testing this out, and hopefully, if this works well, I'm going to be recording this kind of a multi-camera setup now. And to give you an example, I'll show you kind of like the three camera settings that I have. So if you look here, you're going to see the three different cameras, and so you're going to see the overhead, and then you're going to see the left camera and then the right camera. And so hopefully this will give you better angles so they have a better idea about what I'm doing. I notice a lot of times it's kind of hard to see because my hands are kind of in the way. So hopefully this will help kind of show like how I'm doing things a little bit better. And so we're going to take a look and open up the box. And so we have all of our parts here, and then most likely there's going to be the instruction manual underneath. Yep. These look like these are going to be extra parts. We'll see if we need to use this or not. And oh joy, these toothpicks, which really hurt my fingers. So we're going to have this, and then this is the instructional manual. And it's all in color, which is actually very nice, and it kind of gives you a nice layout. It actually gives you a lot of good information here. So it looks like it's about 3 sheets, and so without further ado, I'm going to get started. So this kit actually comes with everything you pretty much need. It actually includes a sandpaper here, which I'm actually going to be taking out. I'm actually not going to be using this sandpaper just because I already have another sandpaper that I'm already currently using. So I want to actually use that one first before I start using this guy here. And so this is from another one of the wood trick models that I worked on, and I had an extra sandpaper here. And then you see that there's going to be rubber band, and this wax is actually very important. The wax actually helps you squeeze in the wood parts, especially when you're putting it through the tabs. Sometimes it's a very tight fit, and so what happens is when it's a tight fit, it's actually you're having to squeeze in a lot. But especially with the toothpick, when you're putting into these holes, this wax will actually help a lot. And one thing that I really like about the manual here, if you can see, is um, for each part, for each sheet, they'll tell you all the parts that you need, which is nice because a lot of the other times they'll just give you the part number and sheet, and then you have to kind of look through the part list here. Actually, this one doesn't have it, but it'll actually make you go through and look for the parts. But it's actually nice that they just identify here. So if you look at here, it says sheet 3. So if you look at sheet 3, this is the first part here, number 5. So we're going to start taking that out. You just have to put a little pressure in. I actually like pushing it out from the bottom side whenever possible, because because the bottom side would fray a little bit. Wherever you're pushing it from, it will fray. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of fray as much as possible by pushing it from the bottom side, because then as it pushes it in, so you're not actually fraying any of the wood, or you're not chipping any of the woods on the actual finished side here. And then we're going to continue on. And we're going to be taking out all the extra pieces that we need. So this is 5. So I'll put this over here for now. And before I do anything else, I want to look, because typically with these wind models, they have this piece here. So almost every wind model, regardless of the manufacturer, will give you some kind of like a key or like a push tool. Now this is very useful for when you're trying to push things or when you're trying to hook the rubber band. So this would be a good tool to use. So you want to actually always pry this one out first. And I'll show you how you can use this. So for example, if I'm going to be pushing out this piece here, number 51, I can just start actually going from the bottom side because I want to push it out. You can use this instead of pushing your own fingertips. It actually just helps so that you're not actually hurting your fingers at the end of the day. And don't worry if you start getting this yet. We'll clean it out whenever we need to after we push out all the parts. So when you see areas like this, so even though the tool comes or the kit comes with everything you need, I would also suggest getting a X-Acto knife and a snipper, because this will actually help snip the toothpicks later, and this will actually help clean up a lot of edges. So you can just kind of run it along real quick and just kind of get rid of any of the loose woods to kind of just clean up the edges.
Same here, like this, just a little bit.
And especially for the round pieces, I'm actually going to be using the sandpaper to kind of just smooth out the edges, because these are a lot of the times the gears that you're going to have things running into. So I want to make this as smooth as possible. So you don't have to do a rough sanding, you just kind of just do it very slightly wherever you have this kind of dent or a little bit of a wood sticking out. What I also like having handy, I had actually bought this on Amazon. It's just a table, a dustpan, so that I can just kind of dust any of the loose wood items and then just throw it into trash. So we're gonna start just going through the manual and start putting the pieces together. So this piece is interesting though, because they want me to actually wax the inside, but this piece is kind of hard to use. I do have extra wax pieces, but I'm going to try to just build off of what was given in the model kit. So I'm actually going to break this in half. So then I can actually just go in and you don't have to do a thorough coat, just kind of wrap it around real quick once or twice, just to make sure that you have a smooth edge, because this is kind of where all the gears are going to be turning inside of each other. This is actually really important for this one, where you see that each piece here has different arrows. So we need to make sure that those line up with what the instruction is showing. In this case, the first one is going to be to the right, this, at a 90-degree angle. And then we combine this with the first piece that we created earlier. And this goes to an angle that is like that. So this goes down and this goes to the left for the first part. And so if you look here, you have these different kind of lines, and so we need to make sure to line them up in a certain way. And the first one we're supposed to put in between the two, like that, for the first one. And I'm guessing the second one's gonna go here, here, and the last one's gonna fit right in between the two right there. And so the second one, actually we gotta face this so it tilts up, and then this looks down. When we put it together like this, you can see that this is tilting up this way, and then this is pointing down, and so it's 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. And this piece here is going to be tilting right. The second piece will go in like right in between the two, like that. And I want to make sure all the pieces are fitting in place properly. We've got to make sure that all the gear is at the same level. Okay. And the next piece, you're actually going to be looking at it where it's tilting down. And while it's tilting down, you're going to do 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. So like that. So you see here, this is tilting down, and this is 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock. And I'll put these all in at the end together. Next one, it's going to be tilting right. And this one's going to be 9 o'clock. Like that. So it's actually parallel. Parallel, and this one's pointing down, or this is looking 9 o'clock. This is going to be down. If you look at all the pieces, you're going to have the 3 lines lining up on each side here. So now we need to put these kind of pegs on, but we have to be very careful about the orientation. So I'm actually going to be looking at the manual as I do this to make sure that it's in the right orientation. Let's put this on. Before I do this though, I want to make sure that, because as I was rotating around, I wanted to make sure that these are all lined. And it looks like it's in the right area again. So I can just use this. So the point is to look at which way is tilting down, and you're going the opposite way. So I'm going to say it right now. This manual is incorrect because it looks like you're supposed to do up, down, right, left. But the thing is, it's just what they want you to do is be the opposite. So if it's tilting down, put the long side towards the down side. So in this case, this is really confusing for that reason. They want you to do, yeah, so wherever it's tilting down, the hole goes on the upside. So in this case, because this is the wider side, so it's tilting this way. So I'm actually going to put it so the hole is facing the side that's the wider side. And then it'll give you this kind of look right here. Then this is the annoying part, which is putting all these pegs in and cutting them out. This is my least favorite part of these wood models, is all these toothpicks that we have to put in. This model doesn't seem to be as bad as some of the other models I worked on so far, but it still is kind of a pain. It actually hurts your fingers a lot, even with using this key tool. So the tip that I was saying before was, if it's hard to fit in, what you can actually do is use a little bit of wax to put on the tip here. And then you're going to find it a lot easier for it to be pushed in. Because it lubricates as you put it in. So it's a little bit easier to squeeze things in. Okay, and I made a mistake. These are supposed to be flipped. So the next part is going to show you what this hole is actually going to be for. So if we get our part 91, then we stick this underneath here. We want to be able to cut the peg off at the right height. So using the key here, or this hole from the pushing tool, you now have the right length here. So this is this is kind of where this tool comes in handy, is that we're going to do this to connect from here to here, here to here, here, and here and here. This inside one might be a bit tricky, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to see if I can turn this first 90 degrees, so it's actually easier to access like that. So now we have all the rubber bands on, 9 each is what the instruction manual looks like it's saying. So we can move on to the next part.
as you notice, the spider won't move because this body is too heavy for the gears. But the gears actually work fine. What I realized later was that there's supposed to be the wheel on the bottom that's supposed to be flipped down that actually helps hold up its own body weight so that it can actually move. But unfortunately, I already sent the model to App Playtoy so that it can be displayed in their store, so I wasn't able to record that portion. And I hope you enjoyed watching this video. It was actually a really fun build. I haven't done a wooden model in a long time, so it was actually fun for me. And if you did like this video, please hit that like button, and you can hit the subscribe button if you want to see more videos like this. And thank you for watching.